Then there's that one moment when the bride actually first walks into the room. There's tears that are being shed. You know,
Bro,
I'm getting emotional.
I'm picturing
I'm getting
this.
emotional right now.
Hey guys, welcome back to Chai and Chat. We have two guests here today, DJ Salman and Sharia from On Point Events. So guys, welcome to Chai and Chat.
Thank you for having
Of
us.
course, you got Salman over here, another Salman over here today. This is like double trouble right now.
That's why we put them on the
Yeah,
sides.
and then we have Farouk, the man over here too. So, quick introduction while Farouk is giving out this beautiful chai.
Appreciate it.
DJ Salman and Sharia own an event company where they handle all types of events, DJing, boutiques, full
floral designs,
everything.
lighting, everything.
You know, one of the reasons why we wanted to get you guys on this show, and I'll be honest with you, you know, with COVID going on and weddings and everything happening right now, trying to plan a wedding and do a wedding is very, very difficult. Sharia, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And you guys are the only people that I see on social media that are fully booked, busy, and doing events. I literally hit up Sharia every week. Hey, dude, where's this event at?
Yeah.
What hall is this? How is this happening?
Yeah.
Because, you know, people are like, yo, people are not having events, but you guys are DJing. You guys are having these full packed, I mean, I won't say packed events, but, you know, with the regulations and everything, but you guys are doing it. Even in the summer, you guys did nice outdoor events and everything.
Yeah.
What's going on? What are other people doing wrong and you guys are doing right?
It's not so much wrong and right. It's really being creative about it. You know, when the year started, we all were like, okay, this is my plan for the year. This is what I'm going to do. As usual, you know, we started off, you know, with our own routine too. But obviously, as February, March rolled around, we were like, hold up, you know, like everything is getting postponed. Events are getting canceled. People were, you know, seriously just running away from gatherings and stuff, and rightfully so. You know, it was crazy.
And also to give you a little bit of background on the whole wedding situation.
Yeah.
Both of us are on the market that's looking for place
Venues
and also venues.
They know. They know.
Yeah.
So
we get
so it's
messages
kind of
during the
like-
party. He's like, hey man, where is this? I'm like, well, you ask me this every week. Are you getting married or what?
They're my event planners, man. But you know, my situation is too big.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And you know what? That same situation is with a lot of people. We would love to have 200, 300, 400 people events. That's just what brown people do.
Yeah.
And it's weird, you know, like to postpone it for 5-6 months. People are like, okay, whatever, we'll do it. And then you're looking at a whole year now.
Yeah.
Then you're looking at now a lot of people have stipulations that are, you know, besides the regular issues with COVID. There's other family situations. There's other traveling things. People are going through schools or opening businesses, whatever they're doing. So they want to follow some kind of a schedule. I mean, I'll postpone it for a year or maybe a year and a half. Eventually, we've got to do something.
Right.
Downsizing the crowds, outdoor events. When this got introduced to the market, you know, you really had to just be accommodating. That's really what it came down to. Because you had to take into consideration, you know, this is still hospitality business.
Yeah.
But now you can't even show your smile. You got a mask on.
Yeah.
You know, so
Which is the most beautiful feature about a human being. The smile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what we do is we sell our energy, right? And when you look at us during an event, we're supposed to look relieved and happy to be there because we're selling that energy. With my mask on, all I gotta say is the company's name. So whatever I do now is gotta speak for itself.
Body language.
Body language gotta speak for itself. And people are in a room full of people. You're looking at me from far away. So stuff like that, you know. Besides selling energy, you just have to be creative. You know, between custom masks and from the decor aspect, we're doing, you know, the party favors and giveaways for the guests that show up to the wedding. We used to do pictures. We used to do little goodie bags, little, you know, memory this, memory that. Now we're doing hand sanitizers with personal labels on it, you know, X, Y, and Z wedding. And, you know, now you're taking a little hand sanitizer home. It's still cute. It's still creative.
Yeah.
It's still, you know, considerate to the regulations we're following. But, you know, does it feel different? Of course it does. You know, I mean, we're on a dance floor. Families trying to have fun. Yeah. And we thrive off that. This is the kind of business you don't just wake up and you're like, oh, I got to go to work. You're like excited about it. Yeah. Friday's excitement starts on Monday. Because prep work and all that, because it's so much, because you have to pack in all of your skills in 4 or 5 hours, and you have to deliver it, you have to show it, and you have to follow the guidelines. So now he's very good at getting the crowd going, emceeing, and you know. But now people are dancing. You know, sometimes there's a shy crowd. You push them a little bit, they start dancing. The ice is broken. Now they're dancing. Now you got more than 10 people on the dance floor. managers,
Manager
maitre d's.
Yeah.
Hey man,
So the manager comes right to you, basically,
Yeah.
and goes, "Hey, you got to break it up. Only 10 people." What do you do then?
We announce it. We try to enforce it as much as possible.
Yeah.
As far as as us being safe, we keep people. We announce throughout the night, like you gotta, it doesn't, but in a very jolly way. Like we're not like, oh, it's a pandemic, you cannot be close. You can't freak them out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
somebody's big day.
Right, it's somebody's big day. And then and also in Islam, it's like when you decide to get married, get married.
Yeah.
Don't delay.
Yeah.
It's actually do not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And coming from a DJ, but as far as I know from my mother and father. So, we make the announcements throughout the night, and people been good. People been good with it. And
You get the mixed reactions, but people follow for the most part,
So where did you guys get started? How did you guys start this, event
Do you want
company?
to start, or you want me to start?
Two stories.
Two separate stories.
Yeah.
I mean, let's start with Salman.
Okay, so in a nutshell, I don't want to take too much of the time. I started off about 10 years ago. I started off mostly from the nightlife, DJing lounges. I still do them, but not as much. Lounges, clubs, stuff like that. Then I lean more over towards, I worked with a couple of people, and then I lean more over to the, private industry, and it was that day and now it's this day.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Yeah. So my little bit background was, you guys know I was DJing before.
Yeah.
Way before, I want to say around.
And I know there was a gap after.
There was a gap, yeah. So around 2012 is when I kind of took a break, from DJing, and that really just happened because I was involved in, nightlife also.
Yeah.
I had a little storefront, lounge business, and basically it required weekends. Long story short. And if you're committed as a DJ for a private event on a Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, that's your busy nights at a lounge too.
Yeah.
So I took a break. After lounge, I transitioned into another venture. It was more so on the floral designing and event decoration, stuff like that. But same idea, wedding industry, weekend stuff.
Gotcha.
But it just kind of transitioning from the lounge into the decor work, definitely I learned a lot because the DJing part was already there. The nightlife, the basics were already there.
Yeah.
But then there's so much more that it takes to put together an event. Besides just music and entertainment. So after that, I worked under a couple of venues.
Yeah.
I worked under their management all over Long Island, and I saw a plethora of different people. A variety of crowds. I worked with all kinds of weddings, and then eventually understood really what it takes to function a full event from start to finish. Besides decorating it or besides DJing it. So,
and your certificate program, the hospitality.
Right, exactly. So basically, when COVID started, now I'm working with this setup for a past couple of years, and it's a couple of different venues that I was operating at, and then me and him have been friends for over 10 years now. So my best friend.
That's my best friend too.
And see, you gotta have a Salman in your life, man.
Without Salman, life isn't complete.
But you gotta have a good Salman.
Oh, you do the competition now, huh? You got him in the other, and I'm me in the other. Huh?
This is another song.
So with him now, when COVID started, we were always talking throughout my work days, and I would tell him, at some point I started feeling like it had become a rat race.
Yeah.
Because it's so much when you work in like the catering aspect of it, on the back end of multiple catering halls, you see everything from start to finish. The first man in, last man out kind of deal. It burns you out after a while. You do learn a lot, but having known the basics from before in DJing, and then having him around, I spoke to him one day, and I was like, so like, let's just DJ for fun, and just hang out, mix some hookah, whatever. And he pulls out his equipment, and now he's mixing, and I remember feeling very intrigued to see him mix, because I used to feel so good when I used to mix, but I kind of took it for granted. I was too young to even know that this is something I'm so passionate about that I will miss it later.
It's like almost like a muscle memory.
But he pulls out the new software and the new controllers, and I'm just like, this is new language to me. It's the same basics, but it's a brand new language. Like operating softwares are different. There's Tractor, Virtual DJ, Serato, different softwares you run on, but some are really on a professional level. What he was working with was actually, up to date and on a professional level. So instead of, like doing another season of trial and error trying to get back into it, he just gave me a crash course. Just at home, studio hours, we're practicing. All right, that transition was garbage. That mix was trash. Do that again, do that. And basically, in like a short period of time, I kind of got the memory back again. Okay, whatever music I missed in the past, here's a hard drive of 3 terabytes worth of songs, and I'm just like, that's a lot of songs.
That's a lot of songs.
But I'd rather get that copy from him than to download every single thing or buy the songs or whatever it takes. So having a good friend in your life who's also sharing the same passion, it really just catapults you into, up to speed. So when I came around, I joined forces with him. Obviously, I had some things to bring to the table also, and then we kind of just progressed from there. Now, when COVID hit, obviously, things were new. Things were new for everyone. Things were new for us. We're trying to work together. Now, friendship is friendship. Now, you work together is different. So we're a lot of trial and error in the beginning, first couple of weeks, but we just came around it, and I think everything worked out fine. I'm more excited about this field than I've ever been, and I've been in the wedding field for more than 10 years now. One way or another.
Exciting.
One way or another, right?
That's exciting.
Yeah, and then
also the friendship aspect, like you said, man. When you have and we are very transparent with each other.
Yeah.
Like we slept in the same bed, no homo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, bro,
I can see from in a room full of people, I can see across the dance floor. If he's making even eye contact with me, I know what he's trying to tell me with that eye contact. And that helps when you gotta do things in the spur of a moment. Like dance floor time or first dance time for the bride and groom, and something needs to be.
Also with the MCing part, I try to improvise a lot. I don't like to use the same routines and the same songs, and I try to chop it up and kind of read the crowd. I feel like that's like the most important aspect of an MC and a DJ. Like a little kid, you're at Desi weddings, kids are running around the dance floor, right? Nobody can stop them. And if you touch them, the parents are like, oh,
that's it. Why
are you touching my child?
And as a designer, we know, like, oh my God, you dropped that vase, or it's over. The water is going to go everywhere. Now we got mops, so carry on.
Yeah, so I'll improvising where I was going, instead of trying to get the kid off myself, I'll kind of bend down and I'm like, Beta, come here, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you ready to party? And so I got their attention now. They're like, oh yeah. I'm like, so say party, loud.
On the mic.
Party,
on the mic, yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, where are the parents now? Can I get the parents? Can you grab your child?
Now you're adorable. I'm get it to come
nicely, So,
but nicely,
right?
So these are all the little things that you guys have to do, obviously, to make an event memorable, successful, without seeing the smile, understanding the body language, right? So now, for people who are looking to have an event, and obviously that comes with a lot of different complications this time right now.
Sure.
You got COVID, you got availability to being able to find a place, which is very hard, right? So what is the best way, from what you've seen and from your experience, what is the best advice you can give to
somebody who's looking,
somebody who is confused, somebody who's like, can I do an event? Is it legal to do an event?
Right.
How many people can I have? Venues telling me I can have 100 people, don't worry, we'll make it happen.
Right.
Like, what's working, what's not working, what is it that we need to know?
It's a mix of everything. You have to use your own common sense, and you have to follow the guidelines as the government has issued it to everyone. You have to read the news, you have to go through it, and you have to know your basics about it. You have to know, okay, obviously we can't have a room full of 200 people, no mask. That's basic, stuff. Besides that, the best bet these days, if you are planning an event, you're confused about your venues and stuff, your local vendors, your local event planners, your DJ, your decorator, these people are actually now probably the best people to contact for your venues. Because venues themselves have a crazy list of complications now. They have, on their back end, they want to survive. They want to do business. They want to keep it professional. They want to keep it accommodating, but they're short-staffed on this manner, or like whatever the case is. So complications are there. But through the past year, going to different events and different venues, we kind of judged and saw and learned who's doing what and what preventative measures you're taking at your venue to make it a safe event. We'll make it fun, you make it safe, and we'll work together. And basically now, there's like a handful of venues that are out there that you're really comfortable with now, because they've got it figured out.
And mostly in Jersey.
Mostly in Jersey. Obviously, those regulations are there. You're going to be better off. He's going to talk a little bit more about venues themselves. But basically, between your own knowledge of following the guidelines, listening to your vendors, your event planners a little bit, because we know, because we go there and we see it and we see the precautions. And then the stuff that your vendors are now telling you, like if your DJ is telling you, hey, so I have added a new clause in my contract that, I need one person to contact, and, everybody else just 6 feet away from the DJ booth. Now that's something you have to, tell your client also. You have to enforce it now.
We have families.
So you have to work.
We have to be safe.
We have to be safe also. So basically it's a mixture of everything, like I said. But yeah, he's going to touch a little bit about some venues out in Jersey. And besides that, house events, when you do like, tent setups and stuff like that, if you're blessed enough to have a nice piece of property, you can set up a little, do it at home. That's the best. You can have more fun. It's more intimate. The trends are changing. No one cares how lavish your venue was. They just want to have a little gathering at this point.
And you guys do like the full everything.
Yeah, we can do from scratch. We can come over, site visit. We can set up an appointment with you where we come in, do measurements, and we'll tell you what size tent is recommended for you, what kind of openings you need in that tent. Do you want power in there? Do you want heat? Do you want cooling? Do you want chandeliers? Do you want a platform, risers, stages, everything?
Amazing.
So I want to hit 2 points.
Yes.
Right? So the first point is, obviously, we're talking about venues and events.
Yes.
You're there, you got that down packed.
Yeah.
Due to COVID, unfortunately, I can't find a venue.
Yeah.
Right? So my first question of that is,
yeah,
is it better to go directly to the venue?
Yeah.
Or is it better to go through an event planners or company? This actually, I have a third question.
Yes.
All right. Third question is, now I don't want to risk. I decided to do a very small wedding. I don't want to go to a venue. I want to do it in my backyard.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something you guys handle as well.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
you will basically
we'll guide
put the
you.
whole process in place.
We'll guide you. You want to talk a little bit about the planners?
Yeah, I mean,
Tell everybody what do we do, because we're lost somehow.
We're trying to get married.
We're lost. We're trying to get married. We gotta respond to our wife. Like, what's going on? What's the date looking like?
Bismillah, masjid.
All of that day.
Kabul.
That's it.
Get a niqab wall from us. We're gonna give you 2 mics. Kabul. Let's come to your house. I'm gonna set up a speaker in your living room. We're done, bro.
We're done.
Some of the simplest weddings, I've had great weddings, but some of the simplest weddings were some of my most fun ones.
Yeah.
Because there's just relatives there. Everybody's just friends.
It's more intimate now,
It's
and
more
also
intimate.
people appreciate their gatherings more now. Even if it's the 20 people now from the 200 crowd you were going to have, those 20, the close ones, are now in your house. So you can still make it fun. It's just safer to play it that way. And also we do multiple days of events. So, you could do something at home, and if you do find a venue that's going to, do 50
Has anyone done like 3-part weddings? They have to break it down for people. I'm just curious.
That's
3-part being like 3 days?
I mean,
like to break down.
They had one wedding, but the list was so big that they had to break it down 3 days. I'm just curious.
I mean,
there are some crazy people out there.
But you know why he's asking this? Because his guest list is 800 plus.
800 plus.
800 plus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the biggest wedding I've ever done. 800. I haven't done above 800.
I've done 1,400 in Long Island, but that was way pre-COVID. That was many years ago. That was a Hyatt Regency in Long Island.
They're gonna want to give out. They're gonna want to give out vaccine during my wedding, the entrance. You know
what it is?
Like, here, boom.
You know what it is?
You can come in now.
No matter what angle we look at it, the vaccines is really like the basically the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
It really is, because nothing is really technically normal. We're making it normalized because that's the cards we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
But is it really normalized? Is this really normal? Yes, the kids that are growing up now, when they're 5, 10 years old, they're going to be like, yeah, mask is a normal thing. But for us, it's like, dude, that's itching my nose.
Yeah.
Right.
So, they'll adapt to other stuff, but we still got a good chunk of our lives to now cope with the new changes. And so we're trying to keep the essence of whatever was normal and whatever we're doing now. So kind of meeting in between. The tent setups and stuff like that at homes, it works.
Yeah.
It works, weather permitting. It has its own complications. You have to have the right space. There's always, legalities when you have a big structure and tent setup. But we're very transparent. We know we come in before.
So there is a legal aspect if you're doing a certain number of people. It's not like it's my house.
No, not in terms of that. Well, I mean, yes, gatherings are still considered gatherings, whether it's in your house or So you still want to
follow your local guidelines.
You still, even if you're in the privacy of your own house, we've gone around to see this, that it's safe to still follow the rules, even if you're in the privacy and the comfort of your own home. Because you can't be safe enough. You can never be safe enough. Yeah. And it only takes one sick person, and next thing you know, everybody's sick. I've had some people I know very close to me. I haven't seen them in a little while, but I've heard, we're talking online, and people are getting sick, and very healthy people are getting sick, and I'm shocked. It's scary. It really is scary. New strands coming out, people losing.
We all know somebody.
We all know somebody that's affected.
Lost lives.
Yeah. It's very real, as real as it gets. So coping with it and making events fun was definitely very important. Because that's like the last thing left before you get super depressed. I mean, if you can't even get married and you got locked down, and like, what are you doing then? Like, you can't do anything. So having small events, small gatherings, and yet us bringing our extra punch to make it more fun and making it feel normalized like it used to be. Some experience from the normal days, some knowledge from now, current times, and mix it together and try to make it as fun and safe as possible.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I think that my other question was, is it more effective to go through an event planner or directly to the venue? Because again, the venues are booked. There's
pros and cons.
I feel almost like there may be a relationship there existing that you guys may be able to push and work. Again, maybe there isn't. This is what I'm thinking, right? maybe I can go through somebody, although they might have a better relationship than if I was to go to somebody directly.
There is pros and cons. Do you want to talk about event planners a little bit?
I mean, this is what I say. Like it's a very old saying, man. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? But if the venue is like a sour management and they're giving us a tough time, we can't perform to the, or the event planner is a sour person and is giving us a tough time. We can't perform to the, it's a vibe.
Yeah.
Right? It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Everything is a vibe. If I don't click with the bride and groom, you know what I'm saying? I cannot. You're not going to book me.
Yeah.
Or even if you do end up booking me, for some reason, I'm the only guy available in the whole New York.
Right.
You're just not going to have the vibe.
But if your event planner enforced him on you now and you don't like him, now you're kind of stuck at the event planner.
Especially with like Desi people, they always have like
personal
2 to 3 weddings.
Personal touch.
2 to 3 events.
Yeah.
So if I'm having 2 to 3 events, I don't want to have DJ Salman, DJ Sharub, DJ Ritik. I want DJ Salman. That's it.
Right.
Because DJ Salman stole the vibe in my Mendi.
Yeah.
Now DJ Salman's gonna see my wedding and my reception.
Yeah. That's actually the best way to go.
That is the best way. So what you were saying when you go to venue, I honestly think, because you're dude, I went to all these halls. It's a hassle, bro.
Yeah.
Going to halls, dealing with them dates, this and that. When you deal with an event planner, you can literally tell them, hey, these are the dates I'm looking for. Can you help me out? Contact the halls. I'm pretty sure you guys, that's what you guys do even.
Right.
That's
basically...
And when you're getting everything already, why you need to go
shop around
for?
Bundles are easier. That's why there are pros and cons to event planning, because event planning is basically, I'm putting everything in your cup for you.
Dude, I just want to touch it. I remember I went to this hall. I'm not going to name the hall. And they gave me a package, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with the package, they were adding some limousine or something. First of all, I don't even know who wants a limousine anymore in events and stuff like that.
Right.
And they're like, oh, what if we don't want the limousine? They're like, oh, it's minus $200. It was just straight up BS. It was like, it was just, wait, what do you mean? Like,
minus 200. What am I going to do with that, bro?
What does that do for you? 800 people wedding.
So, I mean, that's what I mean. People, like, there's a lot of people who don't, like, understand a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like...
It really, there is a pro and con to it, because now obviously as an event planner, I'm putting all your ingredients in the cup for you, making it easy for you, presenting it to you. Now that comes down to me, my resources, my connections, and my vendors as an event planner. Let's say I'm just an event planner. Me personally as an individual, I can do carpenting, I can do florist work, I've taken courses, I can do stage design.
You're creative, we know that.
I can actually go and like physically set it up, right?
Yep.
Then let's say we have to do a DJ gig or MCing or whatever, I can physically go and do that. So knowing the craft, how to do it physically by hand, you get the jump start on the event planning aspect of it, because you understand what it takes to set that up. Actually, I'm not going to ask my decorator to put up a setup that I know is physically not possible right now, because I understand how that works. There's pipes, uprights, poles, crossbars, balance hooks, a million things that go in a tool bag. You miss one piece, you can't set up the stage, or it won't be aesthetically pleasing, or it won't be safe.
Yep.
So you have to do all of that in one. So with event planners, they're basically, they're the link between your vendors. So an event planner will enforce their lovely vendors on you, because they get a commission from that.
Of course. Business is business.
Business is business, right. Now, then the personal touch it comes down to, then you as the client have the right to ask your event planner, hey, let me get, if you're comfortable with it, which they should be, let me talk to my DJ directly. Because that's a vibe you want to create without any third person talking to you. Because the DJ connection to the bride and groom, very important. That makes or breaks your whole environment of the wedding. Besides that, the other cons that would be there is, like he said, if there's an event planner that's, let's say, having a bad day, all right, and you are one of the vendors that they have told you, hey, you're an active vendor, you do 10 events in your month, right? Hypothetically speaking, one of your 7th event is through event planner ABC. You go to their event. This is first or second time you're working for them. They're having a bad day. They're not treating you with the full warmth of as they should be.
The welcome, the love.
As how hospitality business is supposed to be. Yeah. Now you're losing out on your charisma, because now you're under their umbrella. And you also feel hesitant as a DJ or MC to go talk to the bride and groom directly, because you don't want to step on the event planner's toes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of pros and cons that the client never sees.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful when you're choosing an event planner. Yes, there's pros. Your life is easier. They're putting all the things together for you. They're getting all the details to you. But also always bear in mind, people who are individual entities like a decorator or just a florist or a DJ or just an entertainment company, because they do this at every event, they're also, I guess, a second-degree event planner, if not first. But having a separate person to kind of just coordinate all them together is pretty good to have, as long as that working piece in the middle is is oiled well to work with everybody else. It's a teamwork, like you said.
Yeah.
Just like you mentioned, the event planning thing, I feel like, they say nobody could do it better than yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
If you just take out a month or 2 months before.
If you have the time.
Right? And if your vendor is a serious vendor who does it for a living.
Yeah.
Remember, there's a lot of part-time guys out there.
Sure.
They won't care if last minute they got something more.
Right,
They're like, yo, I'm out.
I see.
Right? It has happened. I've had brides call me like the night before, 2 a.m. They're like, yo, our DJ just said, oh, you got this and that. I'm like, all right, I'll be there. Difference is I do it for a living, right? I could manage. I have him. I have a couple other guys that could work and run that party. So what I'm trying to say is, if you do it yourself, it's not rocket science. Event planning, plain and simple, bro.
You just have to be
Right?
very composed.
Yeah.
Take some time out. Get all your vendors together. Tell them, let's meet. You meet at the same place. This is the DJ I'm considering. This is the decor guy I'm considering. But that's where we come in, kind of. We do everything.
So do you guys do Zoom calls on that now? I usually meet at the same place.
Yes.
But I know Zoom is on an investment perspective as well. It's like killing it in the game, right?
Killing it. Yeah.
So like if they wanted to get together, you can get on a conference call.
Absolutely.
You can do a Zoom call so you guys can see each other. You present whatever you need to present, right?
FaceTime, Zoom call.
Wait, are you talking about in the wedding?
No, I was talking about meeting.
No, meeting.
Like,
Because of COVID.
Okay.
But I'm talking in general. Let's,
But are you guys doing that in
this
weddings?
thing goes over.
Yeah.
Right? This Corona thing finishes.
Yeah.
And you really want to, you could event plan yourself. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you just organize a little bit yourself, you know what I mean? Then you'll know, I decided this, I wanted this.
Yeah.
Right? There's no if and buts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
So it really comes down to your personal, perspective of it. And you were asking about the Zoom and stuff. So yes, one.
So that's the next level.
Yeah,
stuff, right?
there's two steps.
That's the
Yeah,
virtual
it's
stuff.
a great point you touched because initially when I was taking some courses back in January also, and classes got moved to remote learning. I was like, sure, I'm thinking Skype or something. Here comes Zoom. We're all logged in. I'm paying full attention at 7 a.m. in my bedroom. Attending my class, got my degree. But that's how it started, and then Zoom just became a necessity almost because people wanted to have that feature of voice calling or whatever. Now, fast forward to your point, yes, they could set up meetings and stuff where they could talk, over Zoom and discuss points, and you could do that over the phone too. But where it gets really creative and you can capitalize on, whatever services Zoom is providing in our industry, how you can capitalize on it is we introduce now, since you can't have your 200, 300 people at your event, they could be at home at the comfort and safety of their house.
So I don't have to invite all 800?
You can invite 1,000 or 2,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, basically,
You guys have a way to Venmo still?
yeah, pretty much. Basically, now it's coming
Please
down to
Venmo all the.
yeah.
Like, before they even enter the Zoom, I want them to Venmo.
Virtual gift box. Virtual gift box.
So you can
Yo, you know what I'm saying,
you
bro?
have to do Venmo for the payment.
I mean, we could send the food to them too, bro. I don't problem with that.
That's not a bad idea.
You should do your wedding now, bro.
Virtually.
Yeah, so
that's pretty crazy though.
Yeah, so basically, we have plasma screens, projection screens. We have these really new trusses and front board setups where basically TVs get mounted right on them. And then, technology, now you got wireless HDMIs and stuff. So basically, we'll get, our videographers to come by also. Not the two people that are actually shooting your event, a separate person that could actually come by, take our cameras and walk through the venue during the event with the mask on, with, our camera, which is then going to be projecting the live footage of the event onto Zoom, where you can create a Zoom room, chat room for like 20, 30, 40 people, whatever you want to do, and show it to them. Also, you can display their screens and your screen on our TVs while they're at the venue. So if your guests want to walk by the DJ booth and go like this to auntie in, Pakistan, she'll wave back.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so basically,
That's cool.
this is something, prior to all this COVID stuff was redundant.
But how do they
People would
feed
even
the,
think about it.
How do they feed the Misty though?
That's
the thing.
I mean, they could pre-mail it. They could pre-mail it. I mean, build a package, bro. Build a package like that. Yeah, build a package. If you want, we can send all your guests the pre-packages before the event.
Food, Misty,
everything. You really just have to have a positive outlook on this stuff because people who were planning on having, like, our other friend was having really big event, and then he narrowed it down to maybe like 50 people one event or 60 people one event, and it was. I'm sure it was heartbreaking for them, but they ended up having
I count
fun.
one of my uncles is like 50 kids right there, bro.
Yeah, right. Like it's very I mean, for us, 300 crowd is a small crowd. You know, for
So I have to kind of like wrap it up and everything.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that we do in Chai Chai is whenever we get a guest is to understand a person, what motivates them to do this in the career path that they chose.
Yes.
Majority of the time, the guests that we have always chose a career path that's not norm to our society.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Very untraditional.
Very untraditional.
Yeah.
What is traditional? Being a doctor, lawyer, engineer. That's something we're not, you know?
Right.
And one of the reasons why we bring guests like this in Chai and Chat is to show to the world that there's different career paths that people like and people want to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I really love about you and what I've noticed about you guys, that you guys are so crazy about what you guys do.
Right.
You know?
Passionate. Yeah.
Very passionate about it, and you're so knowledgeable about it.
Right.
You know, there's a thing where he said there's part-timers who will just do it for the money. But you guys are not just doing it for the money. You guys are being creative and doing something.
Part-timers will drop you when it gets too hard.
You guys are doing this.
It's a very
I mean, you guys are breaking the industry, doing something totally different.
Right.
You know? So tell me what makes you guys wake up in the morning, right? And be like, hey, we got to go. It's hustle time.
As long as I've now, partnered up with him officially, it's basically a text message from him. Makes me wake up in the morning. Oh, Bhaijan, what are you doing? Oh, what happened?
You can just tell when you meet this guy, he's a hype man.
He's a hype man.
Obviously he's a DJ, but he's a hype man.
He would light a fire under your butt, and he will give you some guidelines with it, and then check up on you like 5 days. He won't bring it up for 5 days, and then he's like, "So where are we with that pyrotechnics license you were talking about?"
You gotta push each other, man.
No, that's true. And I tell him the same thing every time.
Yeah.
I always tell him like. He started many businesses before this, and I've started many businesses before this too. Before Defender when we started, right?
Sure.
And I was telling him,
which by the way is doing great.
Thank you, brother. 2 is better than 1 because we can always compliment each other, motivate each other, push each other. There's always down days in this business, in this life.
Yeah, sure.
But if another partner is there who can push you and be like, "Bye, John, get your ass up."
Yeah,
that's it.
This guy, I was pushing him for a year or 2 years. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you. You got the look, you got the style, you used to do this. Get rid of that 9 to 5, bro. Just come to one wedding with me.
Yeah.
Let me do a promo, let me put you in it. And then that's it, bro. Let me handle it from there.
Yep.
And then, alhamdulillah, things worked out the way it worked out. And he was like, yo, you know what?
You have to stick to your passion. I feel like I experimented with a lot of different styles of businesses and work fields. Because I just have this thing, how does this operate? Well, how do you make this? And I'll go into it. But I felt this spark from DJing when I was initially doing it. And, when I tried other stuff, it was still there. It didn't die out. But when he reintroduced me to it with the current tools that are out now, because, when you stop doing something, you lose touch with it.
Right.
But then just the spark just came back. Wow. And after that, it was like, I belong, It's very rewarding, actually. When you build someone's big day from scratch, you meet them when they're deciding to marry each other, and you hear about how they met and da-da-da-da. You hear the backstory, you plan out their pre-shoot, you plan out their vendors, you give them their photographers, cinematographers, you plan out the whole event. Then you get that big moment the day of the event. There's loading prior to that. You go, you set up. Then there's that one moment when the bride actually first walks into the room. There's tears that are being shed.
Bro, I'm getting emotional. I'm getting emotional right now.
I'm picturing my event right now, man.
Yeah. Because
this is crazy. No, I'm being serious. I'm not even joking, bro.
Because you know what it is? Every field is this dignified.
I wonder how many girls want to get married after watching this video, man.
If you are,
at least they'll have a direction.
On point events, NYC, please hit us up. We are available. Taking bookings for 2021. But as a doctor, we see them on the TV. We'll see the medical field, and we can't still relate as far as being in the lobby of a hospital, seeing people sick. That's a different feeling. I worked in the ER before, so I know that feeling is very different. So same way when you're in this market, in this industry, it's very rewarding. That those remarks, that feeling you get from the bride and groom, those reviews. Luckily so far it's been good stuff only. There is troubleshooting the last minute, there's glitches and stuff, but you make it work. That's what you're there for.
That's it.
And that's also a good point too. A lot of times, when you have a good experience, leave a review.
Yeah.
I think that's it helps you. It takes like 2 minutes for me, but it helps you in the long run.
Absolutely.
And also it helps the future customers to understand, okay, this is something good.
Yeah.
They have good experiences. Yeah. They're on top of their customer service. and they're there for you.
Nothing
you know?
will sell me to him more than you telling him I did great at your event.
Of course.
100%.
You know?
Word of mouth.
95%
Best marketing
of
ever.
our word comes from word of mouth.
Best marketing ever.
5% is like social.
But don't forget, he told us his drive and passion. You know, I mean, we're not. Hold
Hold on.
We're not speaking on the name.
No. He has other drives.
Yes.
We have another. I have a last question for him. All right. And so it goes check. What's going on, man? I heard your music yesterday. It was on point.
Thank you. Thank you.
On point.
On point, yeah, pun intended.
So talk to us about your music.
Man, I mean, honestly, I
And listen, by the way, you're a great rapper.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You have a great voice.
Appreciate it. I
And
appreciate it.
you can do a lot of damage in the industry.
Thank you. This is my second supporter. My first supporter is right here.
We're getting there. Started from 0, now you got 2.
I got 2.
Yeah.
I do it for fun. Honestly, DJing 10 years, it was like I was so into the craft, and this is, I say it in the most humblest way possible. Sometimes to mix, I could read the music on the screen.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to put headphones on.
Yeah. I've heard some of the wildest transitions, and I'm watching this guy. I'm like, you didn't even use the headphones. How'd you do it? He's like, I can see it. I'm like, bro, like, what do you see? It's a wave pattern on the side. How do you see it?
He's feeling the beat.
Yeah,
He's
feeling the beat.
feeling the beat. Carry on.
So, I rap for fun on the side. When I was little, I remember putting a cassette player here. My father was a great singer. And
Oh, he was a singer.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
awesome.
he used to be, he used to do like mahfils, like Uncle G's, he liked to play the harmonium, this, tabla, and this and that. Alhamdulillah, now he's like, he prays 5 times. He's older now, mashallah, he's 74 now. So, but I think it came from the genes. I saw the mahfils happening in the house, and I was always into music. I always used to listen to Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan.
My favorite.
I used to listen to his songs a lot, and I would act like I'm playing a piano. I would have a cassette player right here. I was like 10, 12 years old, and I'm acting like I'm playing a piano sitting there, right? So that's where it came from. And then I started writing. When I was in high school, I would write poems and stuff. And from there, then I came into DJing, and then DJing kind of got old for me, meaning, I know everything on this board now.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah.
What's the next adventure? So that's when I started going into production and writing more and, having fun with it.
Wow.
And still having fun with it, and,
So you're an artist from
the get-go.
From the get-go.
Yeah.
get-go.
And it makes sense that his dad was into music like that. He's
Yeah.
into music, and
You have any other songs coming out? I really like Check though. I mean, that was a great song. The video was great. Any other more songs coming
Yeah,
out?
I'm just waiting for Corona to kind of die.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, bro. With your 800 wedding, with the many other
Live performance?
people that needs the wedding, I don't know if he's gonna have the time. So let's.
But not for nothing. I mean, he's gotten a request, and he's too humble to mention. He's gotten a request from a client to actually, spit some bars in like a poetic way before introducing the couple's entrance, the first dance.
That's
Like,
a video too for that.
Yeah, and that's very different for DJs. I mean, what are DJs really, especially brown DJs that I'm familiar with, that I kind of grew up watching in this market. I'm sorry to say they're not doing anything fresh now. So when you
100%. I agree with you. 100%.
When you got someone new coming
when
in,
I go to weddings, and if it's like, even like, for example, mainly if it's like one of my family friends or my friends, I personally always vibe with the DJ.
of course,
Because I'll tell you something, the DJs are the most important person at the events. I mean, I love to dance, I love to have a good time.
Yeah.
So that's why I said the DJs are the most important.
Yeah, and there's a
Because if the DJs don't understand me and I'm in the dance floor and I'm like, yo, good shit, then it's a problem, you know?
Yeah.
The DJs need to know the vibe.
Yep.
Of
You have
course.
to read the crowd.
And it's
That's
so-
the same
it's
thing.
so
You
much more
gotta
than-
read the crowd.
Yeah.
I've seen DJs. I can show you a text message from a guy right now. I DJed his wedding for 3 days, and he messaged me from a wedding, and he said, "Salman, thank you for rocking my wedding, bro. I'm at a wedding right now, and if I showed you what this guy is doing, bro."
Oh man.
He's like, "Why is this guy playing EDM at a Punjabi party? What is going on here?"
That's what it
And
is.
that's facts.
Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
go to a low-key lounge, for
That's-
example,
Yeah.
and they're in there playing like EDM, and you're like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm just here to sit and have some chai, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you blasting my
That's
ear?
what I say.
That is
the
just as
majority of the
bad
time.
as a medical professional using the wrong tool on the patient. Just as bad.
Wow, what a
You're not doing your
comparison.
job right.
100%.
Yeah.
You're not
And
doing it right.
especially for everybody that's like mid-30s, going to 40s, younger, a little bit younger, not the uncles and, aunties. They just want to turn down the music. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
But,
You
they
have
notice-
that. You have
Yeah.
that. Of course.
But like
You have
you
that
said,
everywhere.
there's a couple of videos we've posted on our website lately, on our Instagram page and stuff. It's more promo footage. There's more coming also. But you can start to now notice that it's just more than entertainment. It's actually a vibe.
It is a vibe.
We're not really, yes, we're there for the bride and groom, but we're not just catering to them. There's people of all age spectrums in that room.
Yes.
Right? Everybody has a different taste in music individually.
Yes.
You're that one person that's playing it for everyone.
Yeah.
Like Salman was talking about when he gave that little kid the experience. It'd be like, everybody get on the dance floor.
Yeah.
That kid's gonna remember that.
Remember that, yeah.
The bride and groom are gonna remember that. When that kid get old, don't you remember in my wedding you said, nah, I don't remember that, but here's a video.
Yeah.
I mean, that's experience.
That's experience, and that's personal touch.
Yes.
Basically. You know, that's what makes an event an on-point event. The personal touch.
Yes.
Wow.
So why don't you?
Did you see
Yeah,
that?
I know what he did there.
Yo, did you just see?
Yeah, he learned some transition from Salman over here. Okay,
That was
the new
beautiful.
software and stuff.
That was
He's utilizing it on us right now.
I'm getting there.
You guys, where can people find you guys? You guys have a website?
Go ahead, man.
onpointevents.org.
Okay.
DJ Shah _official, DJ Salman NYC.
You guys have an Instagram page as well?
Yes,
Yeah,
on-point events, NYC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll also list that in the description.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
So, for the people who are looking to get married, for the individuals and the couples who are confused because of COVID, the regulations and the guidelines. Look, this is what we got.
It's possible.
The best of the best in the
possible.
house.
We can
Everything
stay
is
safe
possible. You stay safe
and have fun.
and have fun. Few key points that I just want to say again to make sure that I got it.
Yes.
Okay? If you want to do something small, you guys are there can provide the support.
Yes.
If you want to do it at the venue, you can contact the venue and try to find the event.
Yeah.
If you need more help, you can reach out to an event planner or On Point Events,
Yep.
and they can assist you with the next step and how to go about decorations, finding a venue, music, and everything else.
Absolutely.
And then on top of that, there are different locations, there are secrets about the industry that you don't know that they know. And that's what makes them On Point Events.
We'll be transparent with you. We
We'll be
promise.
transparent.
That's it.
Thank you guys for coming on.
Chai was great.
How was
man.
the chai?
Chai was great. It really was.
That's
Desi
it.
chai.
I'm kind of jealous
Thank
of
God
you
it
trying
wasn't
that here.
the Lipton bag. I'm so thankful for that. I was like, I hope it's not the Lipton
Awesome,
bag.
awesome.
No,
Now-
we told you we're going to have Mr. Samad make those chai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna turn the camera off and talk about my 800 people wedding. Okay.
Let's do that.
So, thank you guys.
Thank
Make
you.
sure you guys go to On Point's website, and if you're planning to get married, don't wait. Like Salman said, get it done.
Chai out.
Chai out, guys.